Hi guys, and welcome to Outspoken with McGee with myself, Kieran. Today what we're going to talk about is something that I have found that works for me. It may work for you. It most likely will work for you, if I'm honest. It'll work for everyone. This is something I'm very confident on. I wouldn't normally say it works for everyone, but this is something that genuinely can. Now, you've probably guessed it by the title in the episode, but that is right. Prophesizing. Now, what is prophesizing before we start? Prophesizing is a setup of words, shall we say, where you say something and it's already predicting your outcome. You're already predicting your outcome subconsciously. Using things like, I would like, maybe, I think. These are subconscious words that send little messages to the back of the mind saying that you can't do it, that you won't be able to achieve these goals. So saying things like, I would like to maybe run the London Marathon in 3 months. You're not going to do it because in the back of your mind you've already told yourself maybe and I would like to, that you haven't got it in you. Whereas if you use things like positive prophesizing words, like I will run the London Marathon in 3 months, I will, I can, I shall. Little words like these make the world of difference, guys. Now, the reason why I want to talk about the actual side of prophesizing is purely because the message I want to get across, that you can literally turn your life around for the better by adding this into your life. You're going to find out so much about yourself practicing this that it's going to shock you, and it will shock you. And that is all because you don't even realise what you say half the time. You don't realise how harsh you are on yourself sometimes. And you will notice by the words that you prophesize, it's going to show you a side of your confidence. If you're using strong, positive, prophesizing words, all I'm going to tell you to do, carry on. Keep doing it. If you're using words like maybe, I'd like to, I think I can, or something like that. Little words where you're adding these little segments of self-doubt that literally build up together, and cause, these little niggles of confidence that stop you from doing things. Like, how many times have you said, oh, I'd love to do a diet, but I just possibly couldn't? You've already been defeated before you've started. Now, little things like that, like diets and stuff, all diet actually means is your current food pattern. You just need to change up a bit. So you can just say, I'm going to go on a diet. I am going to go on a diet. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's so easy to stick with things when you're prophesizing. You're actually practicing these words, practicing what you preach. By putting these into your life, you will, at the back of your mind, give yourself a little confidence boost. Give yourself a little bit of self-belief and tell yourself that you're worth this. You're worth whatever this little goal and this little achievement is. Now, this takes me on to my next point. And this is something I want you to use alongside prophesizing. Now, something I have found along my journey and many others' journeys that I've spoke to them about, shall I say? Let's use proper English, shall we? Is goals. Prophesizing with goals. A lot of people have long-term goals, but they don't have short-term goals. And here is where I find the issue with this. A long-term goal is fantastic to have. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that. However, when you haven't got a short-term goal or something to keep you occupied in this present moment, in this present time, to eventually help you envision and achieve what you want to do long-term, what's the point in keeping a long-term goal? Because until you set up your own areas of goals where you're doing little things to make changes, little improvements, how do you expect anyone else to help? How do you expect? Because this is down to you entirely of how you prophesize, how you set up things. If you've got a long-term goal, you want to have like 10, 15 small-term goals. You know, however you want to name it. But it's vital for you to stay occupied, to stay hydrated mentally. Realistically, you don't want to dehydrate and get all tired and lethargic when it comes to a long-term goal just because you haven't gave yourself short-term goals. These are things that you need to add into your life to get you from A to B and then eventually C. This is what's going to stimulate your body, your mind, your soul, your energy. Being consistent. It's alright to have a day off, don't get me wrong, but be as consistent as you possibly can. If you're working on a diet, or if you're trying to improve your mental health, think about ways that you can get around it by working smarter and not harder. Don't punish yourself for little trips, little mistakes. It's okay. You're human. You're allowed to do it. If you want to have a Chinese, have that Chinese. Just don't have it every night. You know, you can prophesize things whilst doing this. Okay, I'm going to make up for the rest of the week on my diet so I can afford this Chinese, so I can enjoy this Chinese without feeling guilty. Because that's all it ever is. The reason why most people stop things is out of guilt. And that is with everything. That can be with dieting, that can be with training, that can be with turning your life around. You feel guilty because your friends aren't talking to you as much because you're trying to find yourself. These things are things that you need to carry on doing. If you feel genuine guilt about it, it means you're doing something right. Now, I want you to focus on this, and I want you to ask yourselves after this video, are you going to, or would you maybe like to use prophesizing words? And that is completely down to you guys. Now, the reason why I'm actually saying this is because I want you to focus and use this. The power of prophesizing is vital to changing your shit. Thank you guys, you've been with Kieran, and this is Outspoken with McGee. I'll see you next time.